Attention passionate Atlanta, Falcons fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC South and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Atlanta Falcons' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Atlanta Falcons fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Atlanta, FALCONS FANS. Let's get to the news now, folks. If you've been following the NFL this season, especially the NFC South, you know that things are heating up in ways we haven't seen in recent years. And one of the biggest stories, perhaps the most surprising, has just unfolded in the past few days. It's a trade that could redefine the Falcons' future, a move that signals Atlanta's serious intent to contend not just this year, but in the seasons to come. That's right. We're talking about the potential swap involving Kirk Cousins, the veteran quarterback who's been a staple in Minnesota for several seasons now, and how this could reshape the landscape of the NFC South and beyond. Now, before we dive into the details of this blockbuster move, let's set the stage. The Falcons, sitting at 3-2 after a competitive start to the season, have shown flashes of brilliance on offense, especially with their dynamic receiving core led by Drake London, who's been fantastic this year with an PFF grade of 86. That's elite level. But as we all know, offense alone doesn't win championships. Stability at the quarterback position and a veteran presence to guide the team through the playoff push are crucial. And that's where Kirk Cousins could come into play. Sources close to Adam Schefter have indicated that there's a real possibility, a serious consideration, of a trade that would send a 2026 fourth-round pick from Atlanta to the Vikings in exchange for Kirk Cousins. Now, this isn't just a rental, it's a strategic move. The Vikings, who are facing cap issues with a negative $5 million cap space, are looking to free up some much-needed room, especially with Cousins in the final year of his contract. The trade would not only help Minnesota reset their cap, but also give them more flexibility to build around their promising young quarterback, Penix Jr., who's been impressing in his limited action with an EPA of plus 0.10 per play. This move makes a lot of sense for both sides. For the Vikings, with Cousins earning a cap hit of $28.5 million in 2025, reducing that to around $18 million after the adjustments is a significant relief. It's a strategic decision to prioritize the future, especially with Penix Jr. showing signs of becoming a franchise quarterback. Plus, with Cousins' experience, leadership, and accuracy, he could be an immediate upgrade for the Falcons, providing the stability and veteran savvy that can propel Atlanta into serious playoff contention this year. Let's talk about Kirk Cousins a bit more. He's a four-time Pro Bowler, known for his precision passing, and his career PFF passing grade stands at an impressive 88. Over his career, he's thrown for more than 500 yards and 291 touchdowns, with 132 interceptions. Solid numbers for a quarterback who's been a consistent starter in the league. In 2024, he's been stellar again, throwing for over 135 yards, 27 touchdowns, with a completion rate of 65.2% and an EPA per pass of plus 0.32. That's the kind of production that can elevate an offense, especially one like Atlanta's, which has been working to find its rhythm. And it's not just about the numbers. Cousins' ability to perform in clutch moments, his experience under pressure, and his proficiency in play action, where he scores an 85 plus PFF grade, make him a perfect fit for the Falcons' offensive system. His knack for targeting London, who's been a reliable weapon with an 86 PFF grade this season, means that Atlanta can immediately improve their offensive efficiency. Reducing turnovers from about 1-1 per game, a key concern, is also a realistic expectation with Cousins at the helm. Now, the Vikings skeptics aren't exactly sold on the idea of holding onto Cousins. With his high cap hit and Penix Jr. already showing promise, some believe that Minnesota might prefer to rebuild with a younger QB and stockpile draft picks to bolster their offensive line, which has been shaky at best, giving up an average of 4.2 sacks per game. The Vikings are, after all, in a bit of a limbo, trying to compete now but also planning for the future. And with Cousins' contract running out after this season, it's a natural move to explore options that maximize their return, even if it means trading away a player who's been a steadying force. For Atlanta, on the other hand, this trade could be a turning point. The Falcons are currently sitting at 3-2, which is promising, but they need consistency at quarterback to truly challenge within the NFC South. Adding Cousins could be the piece that pushes them over the edge, that turns their offense into a more explosive, reliable unit capable of scoring 27 points per game, which is the projected figure if Cousins joins. Remember, last year's Falcons' offense averaged around 23 points per game, but with a veteran like Cousins, the ceiling rises significantly. His ability to elevate the offense, especially with weapons like London, combined with his experience and leadership, could help Atlanta not only make the playoffs, but make some noise once they get there. When we look at the bigger picture, the impact on odds is pretty striking. Right now, Atlanta's Super Bowl odds are around +2,500, but if this deal goes through and Cousins becomes their quarterback, those odds could shorten dramatically, possibly to +1,200. That would place Atlanta firmly in the contender conversation, especially with their current record and the potential to add more wins with a competent quarterback. Conversely, the Vikings' odds might lengthen from +3,000 to a less favorable position, as they prioritize youth and cap flexibility over immediate success. It's a strategic gamble for both teams and one that could reshape their fortunes for years to come. This trade, if it happens, signals a bold shift for the Falcons. They're not just looking to compete in 2024, they're positioning themselves as serious contenders moving forward. Kirk Cousins, as an anchor, could be the veteran leader they need to stabilize their offense and push them into the upper echelon of the NFC. And for Minnesota, it's a chance to reset, to rebuild around Penix Jr., and to look ahead to the future with a clear cap strategy. It's a fascinating chess move, and as fans, we're all eager to see how it unfolds. So, what do you think about this potential trade? Do you believe Cousins can be the missing piece for Atlanta? Or do you think Minnesota should hold on to him and try to squeeze more out of the season? Either way, this development adds a new layer of excitement to the NFL landscape, and it's something every Falcons fan should be watching closely. Remember, this is a pivotal moment, and it could define the Falcons' trajectory for the next several seasons. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Atlanta Falcons news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. But before we wrap up, let's consider what this means in terms of team chemistry, locker room dynamics, and the long-term vision for Atlanta. Bringing in a veteran like Cousins isn't just about the stats. It's about leadership, experience, and the ability to mentor younger players. His presence alone can elevate the team's confidence and mental toughness, qualities that are often the difference between good teams and great teams when the stakes are high. For the Falcons, this move might also serve as a signal to the rest of the NFC South that they're serious about competing right now. The division has been somewhat unpredictable in recent years, with Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Carolina all trying to establish dominance. But Atlanta's aggressive move to bring in Cousins shows they're not content with just being a middle-of-the-road team. They want to be a legitimate playoff contender and possibly a division champion. With a quarterback who's known for his accuracy, decision-making, and resilience, they can improve their chances of winning close games, especially in a division where every win counts. Looking ahead, the potential 2025 projections are also intriguing. If Cousins joins and maintains his current level of performance, we're talking about throwing for around 200 yards and 28 touchdowns, which would be a significant boost compared to their current stats. The offense, which already averages 23 points per game, could push that number closer to 27 or even higher, making them a more feared unit across the league. And with London's exceptional route running and catching ability, combined with Cousins' precision, the Falcons could become one of the most efficient offenses in the NFC. Of course, this move isn't without risks. The cap hit, even after adjustments, remains substantial, and there's always the concern of integrating a new quarterback into the offensive scheme mid-season. But given Cousins' proven track record, his ability to adapt quickly, and his leadership qualities, the Falcons are betting big on this gamble. If it pays off, they could be looking at a playoff run, perhaps even a deep postseason push. something that Atlanta fans have been dreaming of for years. And as we consider the Vikings' perspective, it's a cautious but strategic decision. They're prioritizing youth and cap flexibility and trading Cousins, who's been a reliable if sometimes inconsistent quarterback, allows them to build around Penix Jr. and stockpile draft picks for the offensive line, which needs strengthening if they want to compete again in the future. The move also signals that Minnesota is embracing a rebuild, looking ahead to 2026 and beyond, rather than trying to squeeze out one more playoff run with Cousins. So, as this story develops, whether the trade becomes reality or not, one thing is clear: the NFL landscape is shifting. The Falcons are making a bold statement, and the NFC South is about to get even more competitive. Fans of Atlanta should feel excited, optimistic, and ready for what's next, because this could be the move that propels them into serious Super Bowl contention. It's a moment to watch closely, a moment that could define the Falcons' future for years to come. And remember, the NFL is full of surprises, and this trade could be the start of something special for Atlanta. And now, Atlanta Falcons fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you think Kirk Cousins is the right move for the team, or do you believe the Falcons should explore other options? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the future of the Falcons. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, more insights, and all the latest Atlanta Falcons news. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep this Falcons family growing. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.